All right, so today we're doing something a little bit different. We're taking a deep dive into how to get the best deals when buying glass bongs in bulk for your business.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think so. Our main source for this deep dive is this article. The title is, it's in Chinese. I think it's a Kuji.
Yeah, that's right.
And, we're going to uncover some surprising strategies. It's not just about getting the lowest price, right?
Right. It's about so much more.
Yeah. There's this whole element of like building relationships and understanding your supplier's motivations, and then this whole like art to the timing.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like, when is the right time to negotiate?
Yeah, exactly. So let's start with the basics. Bulk buying. I mean, we both know this means you're getting a lower price per item, but why is this so essential for a glass bong business?
Well, I think you got to think about the nature of glass bongs. They're fragile. Things can break, shipments can get delayed. You really need a steady supply to keep up with demand, especially with the laws changing all the time.
Yeah, it's true. More and more states are legalizing, so demand is definitely going to keep going up.
Exactly. And you don't want to be caught without enough product.
Definitely not.
Hmm.
And of course, there's the competition.
Oh, huge factor.
Yeah. So if you can get those lower prices.
You can offer better deals to customers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe even undercut the competition.
Right, exactly. So it's not just about like keeping your head above water. It's about like really having an edge.
Exactly.
So let's break down this discount equation. What factors actually influence those bulk discounts?
Well, obviously the size of your order matters. The more you buy, the better the discount usually. But it's not that simple.
I was going to say there's got to be more to it than that.
Right. Right. You got to consider things like market conditions.
Okay, so what do you mean by that?
Well, let's say a supplier is launching a new product. They might be more willing to offer discounts on their older inventory to make room for the new stuff.
So it's like they're motivated to make a deal even if it means a slightly lower profit margin?
Exactly.
Interesting. So timing is key.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so what about the supplier themselves? Like what about their business health? Does that play a role?
Oh, definitely. Let's say a supplier needs a cash infusion for something. Maybe they're launching a new product line. They might be more willing to negotiate on existing inventory just to improve their cash flow.
So it's like understanding their needs can give you an advantage.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the importance of building strong relationships with your suppliers.
Okay, now see, this is where I get a little bit tripped up, right? Because to me, it seems like if you want to get the bulk price, you keep things strictly business. At arm's length.
I get where you're coming from, but actually building a good relationship can really give you an edge.
Okay, help me understand this.
It's about creating trust. A supplier who sees you as a valued partner is more likely to go that extra mile, whether it's a better discount, prioritizing your order, maybe even giving you a heads up about upcoming promotions.
So it's about more than just that one transaction.
Yeah, it's a long-term vision.
I see. So, okay, we've laid the groundwork, but now I want to get into the nitty-gritty. How do we actually become master negotiators?
Preparation, my friend.
Yeah.
Preparation is key. Before you even think about talking to a supplier, do your research. What are their pain points? What are their goals? What's their inventory situation like? The more you know, the stronger your position is going to be.
Right. So it's almost like going into a chess match. You have to anticipate their moves.
Exactly.
Okay, now give me some actual tactics. What can we use at the negotiating table?
This one might surprise you, but don't underestimate the power of silence.
Silence? Really?
Yeah, after you've made your offer, just be quiet. Let it hang in the air. It can be super effective.
How so?
It creates this anticipation, right? The other person might get uncomfortable and offer a better deal just to break the tension.
Interesting. So it's kind of like a mind game in a way.
It can be. But remember, you have to read the room.
Right.
Some suppliers might need a more direct approach.
Okay, so it's about adapting to the situation and the person you're dealing with. This is great stuff. So we've got our first order. Things are going well. But how do we make sure those sweet deals keep coming?
It's the power of repeat business suppliers. They love reliable customers.
Of course, makes sense.
If you show them you're a good partner, that you pay on time, that you place regular orders.
They're going to reward you with better terms down the line.
Exactly. It shows commitment.
Okay, so we're building a reputation.
Absolutely.
This is fantastic. And this is all stuff that can apply to any business, really.
That's the beauty of it, right? These are fundamental principles.
Yeah. So it's not just about glass bongs. It's about building a solid foundation for success.
Exactly. And speaking of success, the glass bong market is unique, right? So let's talk about some of the specific dynamics we need to be aware of.
Okay, yeah, let's get into that. What are some of the things that make this market different?
Well, for one thing, it's constantly changing. New designs, new materials, new technologies are always popping up.
So we have to stay ahead of the curve.
Absolutely. Know what's hot, what's not. That's how you spot opportunities.
Right. And we can't forget about the legal landscape,
Oh, huge factor, right. More states legalizing means more demand.
but also more competition.
Right, exactly. So you have to be sharp.
So our negotiation skills and those supplier relationships become even more critical.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You got to position yourself as a valuable partner, someone who can help them navigate this crazy market.
I'm seeing that bulk buying is a lot more dynamic than I initially thought. It's not just about placing a big order and calling it a day.
It's a whole process.
It is. It is. So another thing I'm thinking about is quality control.
Oh, that's crucial.
Yeah, with so many different manufacturers out there, how do we make sure we're getting the best possible product for our customers?
Do your research.
Yeah.
Don't just go with the cheapest option.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Vet those suppliers, ask for samples, check online reviews.
It's about protecting our reputation, right? Making
Mhm.
sure we're associated with quality.
Absolutely, because a happy customer is a repeat customer.
And a happy customer tells their friends.
Word of mouth is gold in this business.
It is. So, speaking of reputation, ethical sourcing, that's something that's becoming more and more important to consumers.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So, how does that factor into bulk buying?
People want to know where their products come from, how they're made.
Yeah.
Making sure your glass bongs are produced responsibly can be a huge selling point.
So, it's not just about the product itself, it's about the values behind it.
Exactly.
So, we're aligning our business with the values of our customers.
And that can lead to loyalty, a better brand image.
It's a win-win.
Exactly.
Wow. This is eye-opening. I'm realizing there's so much more to bulk buying than I ever considered.
It's a whole world.
It is. Okay, so let's talk about inventory management for a minute. We're dealing with larger quantities of product. How do we make sure we're not overstocked, that we're storing everything properly?
You got to be good at forecasting demand.
Okay, so what's the best way to do that?
Track your sales data, look for seasonal trends, analyze the impact of marketing campaigns, things like that.
So we're looking for patterns.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to use forecasting tools. They can really help.
Okay, so we have a good idea of how much to order. But what about storage? I mean, these are delicate items.
You need a dedicated space. Clean, dry, temperature controlled.
Right, we can't have them getting damaged.
Exactly. And think about shelving, packaging materials. Everything needs to be optimized for glass bongs.
This is making me realize that the logistics of bulk buying can be pretty complex.
Oh, definitely. But if you get it right, it's a well-oiled machine.
It is. Okay, so we've received our bulk order. Everything's stored properly. What about tracking stock levels? How do we make sure we know what we have and when to reorder?
There are a lot of inventory management systems out there, both manual and digital.
Right, so find what works for you.
Exactly. The key is consistency. You got to be able to monitor your stock levels in real time and know when things are running low.
And I imagine you want a system that integrates with your sales so you can automatically update your inventory when something is sold.
Absolutely. That kind of automation can save you so much time and hassle.
Yeah. So it's all about finding that balance, right? Having enough stock to meet demand, but not so much that we're wasting money on storage.
Exactly. It's a delicate dance.
It is. It is. This has been incredibly helpful. I'm starting to see the bigger picture here.
It's all connected, right? The market, the suppliers, the logistics, everything.
It is, and it's all about making smart decisions that benefit your business in the long run.
Exactly.
I'm feeling much more confident about approaching this strategically now.
That's what we want to hear.
Yeah.
And remember, this is just the beginning.
Oh, of course, yeah. We still got a lot more to cover.
We do. But you're on the right track.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about something that often gets overlooked. The impact of bulk buying on your brand reputation.
Okay, this is interesting. We've talked about attracting customers with lower prices, but are there other ways it can enhance our brand?
Definitely think about it. When you consistently offer great products at great prices, what message does that send?
It says we care about our customers, we're committed to providing value.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that builds loyalty, a positive reputation.
So bulk buying isn't just a behind-the-scenes thing. It's actually shaping how people see our brand.
It absolutely is.
Okay, that's a good point. And then there's the ethical dimension, right?
Oh, crucial.
We talked about ethical sourcing, but are there other ethical considerations we should keep in mind when buying in bulk?
One big one is fair labor practices.
Ah, okay.
Making sure the people who make those glass bongs are treated fairly and paid a living wage. That's essential.
So it's about aligning our values with our actions, making sure we're not contributing to exploitation.
Exactly. Consumers care about that more and more these days,
They do. They want to support businesses that do the right thing.
and they're willing to pay for it.
It's about building a brand people feel good about.
Absolutely.
I'm seeing that ethical considerations are just as important as the financial and logistical ones.
They're all interconnected.
They are. All right, so we've talked about building relationships with suppliers, but let's dive a little deeper here. What are some practical tips for creating those strong, mutually beneficial relationships?
Treat your suppliers with respect. Treat them like partners, not just vendors.
So building that foundation of trust.
Exactly. And communicate regularly. Stay in touch, even when you don't have an order to place.
So it's about keeping that connection alive.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And be proactive.
Okay, what do you mean?
If something changes in your business that might impact your orders, let them know.
So if we're expecting a surge in demand or if we're launching a new product line,
Exactly. The more information you share, the better they can support you.
it's about working together.
It is. And be a reliable customer.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What does that look like in practice?
Pay your invoices on time.
That seems obvious, but I'm sure it's not always the case.
Unfortunately not.
Yeah.
And if there's ever an issue, communicate with them. Don't just disappear.
Right, be upfront and honest.
Exactly.
Mm.
And remember, they're running a business too. They have their own challenges.
So empathy is important.
It is. And be consistent with your orders.
So if we usually order a certain amount each month, try to stick to that as much as possible.
Exactly. Consistency helps everyone plan.
It creates stability.
Right. And stability builds trust.
This is great advice. I'm seeing that these relationships are truly partnerships.
They are. And they're worth investing in.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's talk about logistics. We've got our bulk order. We know how to manage our inventory. Now what? How do we actually handle receiving those large shipments, especially when we're dealing with fragile items like glass bongs?
Logistics are key, right? You got to have a plan.
A plan, yeah.
What's step one?
Assess your storage capacity. Do you have the space to handle those bulk shipments?
That's a good point. We don't want to be tripping over boxes.
Exactly. And it's not just about space. It's got to be the right kind of space.
Okay, so what do we need?
Think about it. Glass bongs are delicate. They can break easily.
Yeah, temperature changes, humidity, even dust could be a problem.
Exactly. So you need a space that's clean, dry, temperature controlled. Maybe even invest in some specialized shelving or racking to protect them.
Absolutely. You got to create a safe haven for those precious bongs.
I like that, a safe haven. Because the last thing we want is breakage.
Right. That's lost money, delayed orders, unhappy customers.
Not good. Not good. Okay, so we've got our storage sorted. Now those shipments arrive. What's next?
Streamline your receiving process.
Okay, break that down for me.
When those trucks pull up, you need a system. Efficient unloading, inspection, inventorying. Everything has to flow smoothly.
Right, so it's not just about getting the boxes off the truck. It's about making sure everything is accounted for and inspected for damage.
Exactly, and then getting it logged into your inventory system accurately.
So any tips for making that process as smooth as possible?
Designate a specific receiving area. Give yourself plenty of space to maneuver those pallets and unpack everything.
That makes sense. Avoid creating bottlenecks.
Right, and train your team on how to properly inspect each item.
So they can catch any cracks or defects right away.
Exactly, and have a clear protocol for handling any damage.
So we can contact the supplier and get things sorted out quickly. Right. Good, good. And I'm assuming we need a clear return policy in place with our suppliers just in case.
Oh, absolutely. That's crucial.
Okay, what should that policy cover?
It should outline all the circumstances when returns are accepted. Damaged goods, defective products, incorrect shipments, things like that.
Right, and specify the time frame for initiating a return and the process for getting a credit or a replacement.
Exactly. Clear and concise, no room for confusion.
I'm seeing now that the logistical side of bulk buying is just as important as the financial and strategic aspect.
Oh, absolutely. You
Yeah.
can't neglect it.
Right. If we don't handle this part properly, all the work we put into negotiating those great deals and managing our inventory goes out the window.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
all connected.
It is. And remember, efficient logistics, they don't just prevent problems. They can save you time and money in the long run.
Okay, I see that streamlining those processes can reduce labor costs, minimize errors, and get those orders out the door faster.
Exactly. It's all about optimization.
It is. It is. This is great stuff. Now let's shift gears and talk about the financial side of bulk buying.
Okay, let's get into it.
Yeah. What are some of the key financial considerations we need to keep in mind, especially in the glass bong market?
First and foremost, you got to understand your cash flow.
Okay, so knowing how much money we have available and how much we can afford to invest in inventory.
Exactly. Bulk buying can require a big upfront investment.
Right, especially if we're buying large quantities.
Right. You got to make sure you can cover those costs without jeopardizing your other financial obligations.
So don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly. And it's not just the initial purchase price.
Yeah.
You got to factor in the ongoing costs of storage and management.
So things like storage fees, insurance, potential loss or damage.
Right. You got to think about the big picture.
Makes sense. Makes sense. What about payment terms? What should we be aiming for when negotiating with suppliers?
Ideally, you want payment terms that match your cash flow.
Okay, so if we have a lot of cash on hand, we might be able to negotiate shorter payment terms like net 30 days.
Exactly. And that can give you leverage to get better pricing sometimes.
But if we're working with a tighter budget, we might need to negotiate longer terms like net 60 or even net 90.
Right. Gives you more breathing room.
It does. It does. I'm seeing that the financial side of bulk buying is just as strategic as the negotiation and logistics.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's all about making smart decisions that support your business goals.
It is. It is. This is great stuff. I'm really starting to see how mastering the financial side can set us up for success.
That's the foundation.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the practicalities of bulk buying, but I want to touch on something that I think is really exciting. The potential for bulk buying to unlock innovation and creativity.
Oh, yeah. I love this part.
Yeah, me too. So we've talked about getting the best prices and managing inventory, but
Mhm.
how does bulk buying actually fuel innovation, especially in the glass bong market?
Well, when you have that steady supply of high-quality products at a good price, it frees you up.
Hmm.
You can focus on other things.
Okay, I see that. So instead of constantly chasing deals or worrying about running out of stock, we can channel our energy into developing new designs, experimenting with new materials.
Exactly. Bulk buying gives you that solid foundation to build on.
It's like a launch pad for creativity.
I like that, a launch pad.
Yeah. So how do we actually put this into practice?
Make time for brainstorming, for experimentation.
Carve out that space for creativity.
Exactly. And encourage your team to think outside the box.
Challenge them to come up with new ideas, new functionalities, really push the boundaries of what's possible with glass bongs.
Right. And don't be afraid to collaborate with your suppliers.
Oh, that's a good point. They often have their finger on the pulse of what's new and what's next.
Exactly. They can be amazing partners in innovation.
I'm seeing that bulk buying isn't just about efficiency, it's about creating a culture of innovation.
It is. It's about fostering that creative spirit.
This is so inspiring. I love this. So bulk buying can really be a catalyst for transformation in our business.
It absolutely can.
Wow. Wow. This has been such an insightful conversation. I'm feeling so much more confident and excited about the potential here.
That's great to hear.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm realizing it's not just about buying a bunch of stuff. It's a whole philosophy, a way of thinking about business.
It's a mindset.
It is. It is. And one that can lead to some pretty incredible results.
Absolutely.
Can't wait to see where this takes us.
The journey is just beginning.
I'm excited. I'm excited. All right, so before we wrap up, I want to talk about something that's often overlooked but so important. Building a strong network of strategic partnerships.
Oh, yeah, this is crucial.
Yeah. So we've talked about suppliers, but how about other connections? What role does community play in bulk buying, especially in a niche market like glass bongs?
You're not alone in this.
Yeah.
There are so many people who can help you, other entrepreneurs, industry experts, fellow book buyers. Tapping into that collective wisdom can be a game changer.
Okay, I see that. So where do we start? How do we actually connect with these resources?
There are tons of ways. Online forums, social media groups, industry events, trade shows. Put yourself out there.
So joining those online communities, attending those in-person events?
Exactly. It's about building relationships, learning from others, sharing your own experiences.
It's about creating a network of support.
Exactly. And remember, there are organizations specifically designed to help small businesses.
So things like local business development centers, chambers of commerce, mentorship programs.
Right. There's a lot of support out there if you know where to look.
Okay, so we've got our online communities, our industry events. What about individual mentors? Is that something we should be seeking out?
Oh, mentors can be invaluable.
Yeah.
They've been there, done that. They can offer guidance, support, a fresh perspective.
So finding someone who's already navigated the world of bulk buying Someone who can share their wisdom and their mistakes.
Exactly. Mentors can save you a lot of time and headaches.
I'm seeing that building a strong network is as much about giving as it is about receiving.
It's a two-way street.
It is. It is. This has been so eye-opening. We're really starting to appreciate the power of community.
Community is everything.
It is. Okay, so let's shift our focus to the future. What are some of the emerging trends and innovations that are shaping the world of bulk buying, particularly in the glass bong market?
The future is exciting, right? Things are changing so rapidly.
They are. So what are some of the things we should be paying attention to?
One big trend is the rise of e-commerce platforms for bulk buying.
Ah, so we're moving online.
Absolutely. It's all about convenience, transparency, wider selection.
So instead of those traditional face-to-face negotiations, we're seeing more online marketplaces and platforms connecting buyers and sellers from all over the world.
Exactly. It's a global marketplace now.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
What are some of the advantages of these online platforms?
Well, you get increased transparency. You can compare prices from multiple suppliers easily. You can access detailed product information, read reviews from other buyers.
It's like having a wealth of information at your fingertips.
It is. It really levels the playing field.
It does. It does. Are there any downsides we should be aware of?
Well, one challenge is quality control.
Ah, of course. When you're buying online, you can't physically inspect the products before you commit.
Right. So you got to be extra careful about who you're doing business with. So what are some tips for vetting online suppliers?
Look for detailed product descriptions, high-quality images, clear return policies, and don't hesitate to contact the supplier directly if you have any questions.
So it's about doing your due diligence, just like you would with an offline supplier.
Exactly. Trust but verify.
Good advice. Good advice. It sounds like these online platforms are really shaking things up, creating both new opportunities and new challenges.
They are. They're a game changer.
They are. They are. What other trends should we be keeping an eye on?
Sustainability. That's a huge one. Consumers are demanding more sustainable and ethically sourced products.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
People are becoming more aware of the impact of their choices.
Exactly. And that extends to the glass bong market, too. So we're seeing a growing preference for bongs made from recycled or sustainable materials, produced under fair labor conditions, packaged with minimal environmental impact.
Right. It's about doing business the right way.
It is. It is. So how can we incorporate sustainability into our bulk buying strategy?
Partner with suppliers who share your values. Look for those who use sustainable materials, have eco-friendly manufacturing processes, offer eco-friendly packaging.
So it's about making conscious choices about who we work with.
Exactly. Vote with your dollars.
I like that. I like that. This is making me realize that sustainability isn't just a trend, it's a responsibility.
It is. And it's good business.
It is. It is. Okay, what other trends are shaping the future of bulk buying?
Data analytics. That's a big one.
Ah, okay, tell me more.
Businesses are using data to make smarter bulk buying decisions. They're analyzing sales trends, predicting demand, optimizing order sizes.
Wow, so it's about using data to take the guesswork out of the equation?
Exactly.
That's incredible. Are there any challenges with using data analytics for bulk buying?
Well, you need good data, garbage in, garbage out.
Right, so we need to make sure our data collection processes are accurate and reliable.
Exactly. And you need people who can actually interpret the data.
So skilled data analysts who can turn that data into actionable insights.
And that's not just about having the data, it's about knowing what to do with it.
Makes sense. Makes sense. So data analytics is a powerful tool, but it requires careful planning and execution.
Absolutely.
Okay, what other innovations are we seeing?
Blockchain. That's one that's starting to make waves.
Blockchain for glass bongs.
Yeah, sounds crazy, right? But it's all about transparency and traceability.
Okay, walk me through this.
Imagine each bong having a unique digital identifier stored on a blockchain.
Okay, I'm following.
And that identifier can be used to track the movement of that bong throughout the entire supply chain.
So we know exactly where it came from, how it was made, when it was shipped.
Exactly. It's like a digital fingerprint.
That's amazing. And it can help prevent counterfeiting, too.
Exactly. Blockchain is all about trust and accountability.
It is. This is incredible. It sounds like blockchain has the potential to revolutionize the way we do business.
It does. It's a game changer.
It is. It is. This has been an amazing deep dive into the future of bulk buying. I'm feeling so energized and excited about the possibilities.
Me too. The future is bright.
It is. It is. And it belongs to those who are willing to adapt and evolve.
Absolutely.
This has been such a valuable conversation. I'm feeling so much more informed and empowered now.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, yeah, I really appreciate you sharing your wisdom and insights with me today.
It's been my pleasure.
This has been fantastic. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Happy bulk buying.
I will.
All right, let's talk about personal growth. Because bulk buying, especially in a fast-paced market like glass bongs, it's not just about managing inventory and negotiating deals. It's a journey of personal growth.
Okay, I love that perspective.
Mhm.
So, how does bulk buying actually contribute to personal growth?
Well, think about it. You're going to face challenges. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to have to adapt.
That's part of being an entrepreneur.
Exactly. But bulk buying, it presents a unique set of challenges that can really push you to grow.
So, it's like a training ground for personal development.
I like that, a training ground.
Yeah, so what are some specific examples of how bulk buying can push us to grow?
Well, think about negotiation.
Hmm.
It can be intimidating, especially when you're dealing with large sums of money. But the more you do it, the more confident you become.
So, it's not just about getting a good deal, it's about developing a valuable skill.
Exactly. And the same goes for logistics. Learning to manage those complex processes, it forces you to become more organized, more detail-oriented, more problem-solving focused.
So, it's about honing those operational skills, which are essential for any business.
Right. And then there's the financial side. You're dealing with cash flow, forecasting, risk assessment.
Yeah.
You're constantly learning and growing.
So, it's not just about crunching numbers, it's about developing financial literacy.
Exactly. You become more financially savvy.
I'm seeing that bulk buying can be a real catalyst for personal growth. It pushes us out of our comfort zones, forces us to develop new skills.
It does. It makes you a more well-rounded entrepreneur.
This is really inspiring. I love this perspective.
It's about embracing the journey, right? The ups and downs, the challenges, the triumphs.
It is. It is. All right, so let's talk about community again. We touched on this earlier, but I want to dive a little deeper here. What are some practical ways to tap into the power of community and resources, especially when it comes to bulk buying?
Don't be afraid to ask for help. There are so many resources available to support you.
Okay, so where do we start?
Online communities are great forums, social media groups. There are tons of people out there who are going through the same things you are.
So we can connect with other entrepreneurs, ask questions, share advice.
Exactly. It's about building those connections, learning from each other's experiences.
And what about in-person events?
Oh, those are invaluable. Industry conferences, trade shows, networking events. You can meet suppliers, learn about new trends, get a feel for the market.
It's about immersing ourselves in the world of glass bongs. Okay, so we've got online communities, industry events. What about more formal support systems?
There are lots of organizations dedicated to helping small businesses. Things like local business development centers, chambers of commerce, mentorship programs.
So we can tap into those resources and get guidance tailored to our specific needs.
Exactly. They're there to help you succeed.
This is great. I'm seeing that building a strong support network is crucial for success in bulk buying.
It takes a village.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. And it's about being part of that village, contributing our own knowledge and experience as we grow.
Absolutely.
This is fantastic. I'm feeling so much more connected and supported just thinking about it.
That's the power of community.
It is. It is. Okay, so let's turn our attention to the future. We've covered a lot of ground in terms of bulk buying strategies, but I'm curious about what's on the horizon. What are some of the emerging trends and innovations that are shaping the future of bulk buying, particularly in the glass bong market?
And the future is exciting, right? It's all about innovation and adaptation.
It is. So what are some of the trends we should be watching out for?
Well, e-commerce is huge. It's transforming the way bulk buying is done,
Okay, so we talked about online platforms earlier, but it sounds like
or becoming even more important.
yeah, it seems like they're really changing the game.
They are. They're making bulk buying more accessible, more transparent, more competitive.
So it's a win for buyers.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, another trend you got to keep an eye on is sustainability.
Ah, yeah, that's huge these days.
It is. Consumers want products that are ethically sourced, environmentally friendly.
And that's no different in the glass bong market, right?
Right. People care about where their bongs come from, how they're made, what impact they have on the planet.
So we're talking about bongs made from recycled or sustainable materials, produced in fair labor conditions, packaged with minimal waste.
Exactly. It's about aligning your business with those values.
So sustainability isn't just a trend, it's a core part of our bulk buying strategy.
It has to be.
It does. It does.
Ooh.
Okay, what else is shaping the future of bulk buying?
Data analytics. That's a big one.
Ah, yeah, data's king these days.
It is.
Yeah.
Businesses are using data to make smarter bulk buying decisions.
Hmm.
They're analyzing sales trends, predicting demand, optimizing order sizes.
So it's about leveraging data to make more informed decisions, minimize risks.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges with using data analytics for bulk buying?
Well, you need good data, right? Accurate, reliable data.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Exactly. And you need people who know how to interpret that data, turn it into actionable insights.
So it's an investment in both technology and talent.
It is. But if you get it right, it can give you a serious competitive edge.
It sounds like it. Sounds like it. Okay, any other innovations we should be aware of?
Blockchain. That's one that's starting to get some traction.
Blockchain for glass bongs? I'm intrigued.
It's all about transparency and traceability.
Mhm.
Imagine each bong having a unique digital identifier stored on a blockchain.
Okay, I'm following.
And that identifier can be used to track the movement of that bong throughout the entire supply chain.
So we know exactly where it came from, when it was made, where it's been.
Like a digital passport.
That's incredible.
No.
And it can help prevent counterfeiting.
Absolutely. Consumers can be confident they're getting the real deal.
Wow. Blockchain is really changing the game in so many industries.
It is. It's a game changer.
It is. It is. This has been an incredible look into the future of bulk buying. I'm so excited about the possibilities.
Me too. The future is bright.
It is. It is. All right. So we've covered a lot of ground today. We've talked about strategy, logistics, finance, ethics, innovation, technology. It's clear that bulk buying is so much more than just placing a big order.
It's a holistic approach to business.
It is. It's about making smart decisions that benefit your business in the long run.
Exactly.
And it's about personal growth, about constantly learning and adapting.
It's a journey.
It is. It is. And one that I'm feeling much more equipped to embark on now.
That's what we like to hear.
Yeah. Yeah. I really appreciate you sharing your expertise with me today.
It's been my pleasure.
This has been fantastic.
I'm glad you found it valuable.
I have. I have. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with a final thought. Bulk buying, it's not just about getting the best price. It's about building a better business. It's about creating a sustainable future. It's about personal growth and community. It's about embracing innovation and change. And it's about making a positive impact on the world.
Well said.
Thank you. Thank you. So go out there, embrace the power of bulk buying, and let's build something amazing together.
Absolutely.
You're becoming even more important now.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They're making bulk buying easier, more transparent, more competitive, too.
Right, right. So it's good for us as buyers.
Exactly.
Okay, what about sustainability? That seems to be a huge trend across all kinds of industries.
Oh, absolutely. Huge consumers. Consumers are really looking for those ethically sourced, environmentally friendly products.
And I imagine that's the same in the glass bong market.
Oh, yeah. People care about where their bongs are coming from, how they're made, what kind of impact they have, on the planet.
So are we talking about bongs made from, like, recycled materials? Or produced in a way that's better for the environment?
Absolutely. Those are big ones. Also, fair labor practices and using minimal packaging, minimizing waste.
Right, so it's about making sure our bulk buying strategy aligns with those values.
It has to, yeah.
It does. It does. Okay, what other trends are out there? What else should we be paying attention to?
Well, data analytics, that's a game changer.
Data, right. Everyone's talking about data these days.
Yeah, and for good reason. Businesses are using data to make smarter bulk buying decisions. They're analyzing sales trends, predicting demand, even figuring out the optimal order sizes, to get the best deals.
So it's about taking the guesswork out of it, right? Using data to minimize risks.
Exactly.
That's really interesting. But are there any challenges that come with using data analytics for bulk buying?
Well, the data has to be good, right? It's got to be accurate and reliable. If you're putting garbage in, you're going to get garbage out.
Right, garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah.
So we need to make sure our systems are tracking everything correctly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you need the right people to interpret that data, to turn it into something you can actually use.
So we're talking about investing in both technology and talent.
Exactly. But if you can get it right, it can give you a huge advantage over your competition.
It sounds like it. It sounds like it. Okay. Any other innovations out there that we haven't talked about yet?
Blockchain, that's one that's starting to pop up.
Blockchain for glass bongs? Really?
Yeah, I know. It sounds kind of crazy, but it's all about transparency and traceability.
Okay, I'm listening. Tell me more.
So picture this. Each bong has a unique digital ID that's stored on a blockchain.
All right, I'm with you.
And you can use that ID to track that bong's entire journey, from the moment it's made to the moment it reaches the customer.
So we know exactly where it came from, when it was made, every step along the way.
Exactly. It's like a digital passport.
That's amazing. So it can also help prevent counterfeiting, right?
Absolutely. Customers can be sure they're getting the real deal.
Wow, blockchain really is changing everything.
It is.
It is. It is. This has been an incredible look into the future of bulk buying.
Mhm.
I'm so excited to see how all of this unfolds.
Me too. It's going to be an interesting ride.
It is. It is. Well, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive. We've talked about strategy, logistics, finance, ethics, innovation, technology. It's clear that bulk buying is so much more than just buying a lot of stuff.
It's a whole different way of thinking about business.
It is. It's about making smart, informed decisions that set you up for success in the long run.
Exactly.
And it's about constantly learning, adapting, evolving.
It's a journey. It never really ends.
It doesn't. It doesn't. I feel like I've learned so much today.
I'm glad to hear that.
I have. You've given me so much to think about.
It's all about planting seeds, right?
It is. It is. Well, I want to thank you so much for sharing your expertise with me today.
It's been my pleasure. Always happy to talk shop.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So, for our listeners out there, remember bulk buying. It's not just about getting the best price. It's about building a better business, a more sustainable future. It's about embracing innovation, connecting with your community. It's about personal growth and making a positive impact. So go out there, find those incredible suppliers, build those strong relationships, and let's create something amazing together.
Absolutely.
That's it for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.